Yo, we are back with another video. It is Saturday, end of April. I don't even know what the date it is. April has gone so fast, by the way. 25th of April. And I'm looking very tired because I've just woken up and it's early in the morning. Just getting some sunlight on my face. Having the usual electrolytes, just nailed my supplements as well. I just thought I'd have a quick chat to camera. It's probably a little bit of like a therapy session for me more than anything in a way. There's nothing specific I was going to be going over, and then it just came to me then. I woke up kind of thinking about online coaching and the fitness space as a whole, and just to give my 2 cents on it really in a short video. And I've now predominantly been online for I think just over 5 years. COVID forced my hand with that. I was face-to-face PTing before that. I did over 3,500 face-to-face PT sessions or hours, which I absolutely loved. But like everything, things evolve and change. I didn't really know what the online space was initially. And then in COVID, I got bored very quickly because my business that I had just started 6 weeks prior got taken away from me. And I was like, what do I do here? And that's where it all started with content side of things. But I just thought I'd give my 2 cents on where I think the online coaching world, the fitness world is going. And I think everything can always coexist. I think a lot of people thought that COVID would be the death of like face-to-face personal training. I don't think that is the case. I don't think it will ever be the case really. And even with the rise of AI, I think people crave human connection. I don't think it's going to disrupt the industry too much. It will, in a sense of, if you're not very good, if you're not consistent, then yeah, AI can take over a lot. But nothing can replace you as a person. If you're a coach watching this, nothing can replace human connection and community. And yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I think face-to-face PT will always exist, and there was always the argument, and I even actually weighed in on this on my socials as well, of like, online coaching is way better than PT, but it does depend what you want from a results perspective. And when I talk about results, I mean body transformation perspective. You cannot beat online coaching. I will stand by this forever. You can't beat it. From learning to lift, learning the gym, how to move, and things like that. If you're very new, then PT outweighs online coaching in most cases. I've had a lot of beginners come to me and it does work. But if you're hands-on with someone for a couple of hours a week for a few months, they'll probably make faster progress in person. But from a results perspective, when it comes to changing habits, changing your physique, your overall fitness, your nutrition, online far outweighs it. And there's only so much ChatGPT can do and things like that. And that, I'm speaking to so many people now that are just using AI, and that is fine. But the problem that they'll find with it is the no accountability. That's the main thing, and just that human connection. It's very interesting. I do think a hybrid model is pretty cool of online and in person. Like whenever I decide to settle down somewhere, I hate saying settle down, to set up base somewhere, it's something I would consider, because I do like the in-person side of things. I just didn't like the fact with, I getting bored is the wrong word, but I didn't like sometimes, maybe it's my fault for some of the clients that I had, but I'd see someone for maybe once a week, and then outside of that, they were left to their own devices, didn't really do a lot. And maybe that was my fault for being naive, that I thought, oh, they'd just come to me for that session. But most PTs would just offer 1 hour session. You don't really have any time to go over anything nutritional based. It's just, there's a workout. You can have a great workout, but a workout doesn't get you results. The other 23 hours of the day gets you results. So who do I think is going to last? Who do I think is going to last in the online world? And that's an interesting one, because it is probably the most saturated it's ever been. It's a frustrating place to be, but it's also very exciting. You see, when I say frustrating, I mean you see people that get in shape, they'll hire a coach, they'll get in shape themselves, they'll have whatever job that they have, then all of a sudden overnight they're like, I'm now helping people do the same because I've done it. They have no idea how to help other people. They can help themselves get in shape, but they have no idea how to help other people, and it kind of makes a mockery of the guys that the people that have the PT qualifications, that have invested in mentors, that invested in coaches, that have a proven track record with clients, that in my eyes, have done it properly. I'm seeing that so much more, but those people will get found out. There'll be a few outliers that are probably very good, but most of the time those people will get found out, in my opinion. And the cream always rises to the top, right? If that's the right saying. The people that are going to last and the people that will make it and do well in the online space are the ones that are the most consistent, as cliche as it sounds. And that's consistently getting results, that's consistent level of service, consistently building a community, consistently on social media. If you're online, or you want to be online coach, fitness trainer, whatever you want to call it, you have to have an online presence of some sort. It doesn't have to be with what I'm doing right now with YouTube. It could be Instagram, it can be X, it can be LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever fits the people that you work with. You have to be consistent, because there is someone out there who's going to be outworking you, and you have to love it, you have to enjoy it. Content creation is tough. I underestimated it when I first started, and I first started in lockdown. I was just like, well, I'm going to fill my time and I want people to know who I am when COVID finishes, so I'm just going to start creating content. And I have not stopped for over 6 years, every single day. I've on average posted, I think it's like 1.8, almost close to 2 times a day for the last 6 years. It is heavy, it is a lot. And then I get asked, how do you think of ideas? Like, what do you know what to post? And there is no right answer for that, but I think of who I'm working with, what they would find valuable. My own experience as well, that's a huge one. And I mix in some viral content, educational, all sorts. I don't know what it is, but I have almost too many ideas with social media. I've got a list on my phone that you can just scroll like this for ages of content ideas, and it happens all the time. It's something you can learn, but I think you've either got it or you don't with that. It's hard to keep posting without expecting a return, and that's what I have been doing for so long, giving out as much free value and good quality free value as possible. That's now changing as well, I think, landscape wise with social media. You've got to follow the trends that are going around. In terms of reels were huge at one point, where it's like you need to capture the audience within 6 seconds. Everyone was doing like how-to tips, and it's constantly changing. Now it's more about personal brand, and part of the reason why I'm doing YouTube, but I actually genuinely just enjoy chatting. Like I say, I think it's a bit of therapy for me, and I like consuming people's YouTube as well and listening to them and their perspective and their life. And you've got to show behind the scenes and actually show who you are as a person. That's huge now. But if you're not consistent on social media, you're not going to last. You're not going to make it in the online world. I think people think now, if they're new into it, I'll post it before and after, and my inbox is going to be flooding with inquiries. It doesn't work like that anymore. It used to. When I first started, the engagement I would get on posting transformation pictures was insane. Now people just don't, it doesn't seem like they really care. I still post them, but I'm thinking now, and I've got a few different ways of showing how I show a client's journey. Long form being one of the ways that I want to do a lot more of. But it's crazy. That's how I think the online space is going. It's very saturated. That shouldn't put anyone off of joining it, because it means that there is a market for it. There's plenty of people in the world that need and want help. There's plenty to go around. It's a very bitchy space, the online world. It's weird. I never get involved in it, but people are very gatekeep everything, and I don't know, go after people's clients. I've had that ever since I've started, and I've taken it as a compliment. It can piss you off, and it has pissed me off. But it's a dog-eat-dog world, really. For me, I just want to focus on what I'm doing. I always have done. I've been sucked in a couple of times to looking at other people online, but for the most part, I've only ever been concerned about being the best that I can be. And that sounds so cringe and cliche to say, but it's so true. All I want is to get better at what I'm doing. And that goes across everything, not just business, not just with helping my clients, but with myself as well, with personal development, with my own physique development, living my life on my terms. I just want to be and do the best that I possibly can. And I think, and I hope that comes across in what I put out on socials, being quite raw, honest, just being myself. That's one thing I'd say you have to be yourself. Everyone online looks the fucking same. Everyone posts the same, everyone talks the same, especially if you're using AI. It is so obvious. It is so obvious to people now that read captions if they're using AI. Everyone sounds the same. The structure is the same. It just doesn't sound like them. I started using AI until I was like, fucking, that doesn't sound like me at all. I sound like everyone else. You have to be yourself. And that's something that I am doing now completely. Every single caption is mine written out. Every single bit of content comes from my head, not from a prompt. And I think it makes it more real, and I think people know that and will connect with that far more. ChatGPT and AI can be great for ideas and creating a few things, but the actual content should be from the person. I just want to be better. All I want to do is work and train. And it sounds boring, and it probably is to a lot of people, and that's fine. I see it as my job, my career, but it is my life. I live and breathe what I do, and I think hopefully it shows as well. Those are the people I think that are gonna quote unquote make it, or at least navigate the online world changes the best, and the others will just fall by the wayside. Will try something that they think from the outside looks very glamorous, looks very easy. I'll just start as a side hustle, and nah. Maybe some people can make it work as a side hustle, but like I said, content creation alone is a full-time job, let alone trying to get clients in, trying to keep them happy, get them results, the amount of time spent on it. From the outside, a lot of my life might look like he's just living in Bali, doing what he wants, he's surfing, going to the gym. Nah, that is a very small part, and I need to be better at showing the rest of it, but it's just not that fun or engaging, is it really? Unless you find it fun and engaging, in which case let me know in the comments. I'll show a lot more behind the scenes, but most of my 80 to 90% of my day is sat at a desk. It is full time. If you think that online coaching is something you can just pick up and I'll just get a few clients in, I'll just do this and that, you're barking up the wrong tree. It doesn't work like that. The main thing that you need to have is passion for what you're doing. You can be passionate, of course, but that passion has to stay when you're motivated to do the work, when you're motivated to train, when you're motivated to do everything, and when you're not. Having purpose is key. Even if you're not a coach, if you just got whatever your job is in life, whatever you want to achieve, you have to have purpose with it, otherwise you're not going to stick it out, and you'll stick out like a sore thumb and people will see through it. But we as humans need purpose. This is why the things, going off on a complete tangent, things like retatrutide, Mounjaro, all of that, yeah, they might get fast results, right? But people don't have any purpose with it, and they'll be unfulfilled once they've lost that weight most of the time, because they've not really, if they're not someone who's trained alongside it, which I know people that have, we've had clients that have trained alongside it, got great results. But if you're someone who's just taking these things and then wanting to see the weight loss or whatever it is without doing any other work, you're going to be so unfulfilled, you have no purpose, and by the end of it you're going to be flat as anything, and you're going to be like, well, we as humans, we need purpose, we need things to strive for, because you get that enjoyment of like you've put in the hard work and then you reap the rewards of it. That feeling is so good and so addictive. That goes with business, work, physique, anything. We have to have purpose, and when you don't have that, you're going to be so unfulfilled in life. So I'm going to leave that rant there. I said I was going to keep it under 15 minutes. I could just keep going. But yeah, I don't really know what I wanted out of it. I hope you've got something out of that as well. I'm going to keep sipping this, then I'm going to the gym. And today is my day off, it's Saturday. However, I'm filming 2 bits of content, and then I've got half an hour to do on all of my tracking for the business that I do every single day. Consistency, there we go, even on my day off. This isn't a job, this isn't a Monday to Friday. When it's your own thing, when it's your baby, this is an everyday thing. And I do take time off, and the rest of the day I am going to take time off. But I'll keep pushing, right? Gotta keep pushing.